More and more shooters decide to use a bolt-action rifle over a lever-action rifle. If we all went back in time to the late 1800s, the predominant rifle action that most civilians would use out of the two would have been a lever action. So why did we slowly sway away from mainly using lever-action repeating rifles to bolt-action repeating rifles? Lever-action rifles can trace their roots as far back as the mid-1650s with firearms like the Cookson repeater, though these flintlocks were nothing like the lever-action firearms that will surface during the early to mid-1800s. The first ever lever-action firearms that would use metallic cartridges were the Spencer and the Henry rifles. Both of these firearms came out in 1860. During this same period, bolt-action rifles were not far behind lever-action rifles in the science department, though a majority of these bolt-action rifles were breech-loading needle guns, or at the very least, they were just single-shot bolt-action rifles. In 1867, the first popular bolt-action repeating rifle came to be, and that was the Uberti rifle. These early bolt-action and lever-action rifles were pretty much all chambered in various and similar rimfire cartridges, and both magazine-fed actions had the old tube-fed magazines. When centerfire cartridges finally came onto the market, these bolt-action and lever-action rifles would eventually swap to using centerfire cartridges. Since then, a majority of lever-action rifles have stayed the same. They all have a lever, and most have a tube-fed magazine. Bolt-action rifles, though, upgraded more through time. In the 1880s, bolt-action rifles started to have detachable magazines, such as the one the Lee Metford rifle had. The bolt-action rifles that did not have detachable magazines were then designed to be reloaded with stripper clips, or by using other similar means of loading. Nowadays, there is a small fraction of lever-action rifles that have detachable magazines. One of the more notable rifles is the Browning BLR, but other lever-action rifles with detachable mags are few and far between. By not having a detachable mag, this makes reloading slower, and unless you are reasonably good at reloading through the slide gate or sliding out the mag tube to fill the mag back up, a bolt-action rifle usually kicks the lever action out of the park with reload speed. But there are also bolt-action hunting rifles out there where you do have to load one round at a time, which is also time consuming. During the mid to late 1800s, lever-action rifles were actually used by militaries over the world, particularly in North America and Russia. But over time, these rifles were eventually phased out for the classic bolt-action. To this day, lever-action rifles are a staple in the hunting world. Both of these actions are used for brush guns. A brush gun is a usually short firearm, usually a rifle that is typically used in thick bush for hunting game, usually within a short range. These firearms are also usually chambered in a thick and hefty round, but sometimes they may be chambered in a so-called regular rifle cartridge. When the gun enthusiast's mind ponders about a brush gun, they typically think up of a lever-action rifle chambered in a magnum round like this Rossi Puma chambered in 44 Magnum. Though a brush gun can also be a short rifle, a brush gun needs to be able to be fired quickly, be small and light, and of course, with modern engineering, bolt-action rifles mainly are taking over the brush gun scene. Here in New Zealand, the most typical type of brush gun is actually usually a shortened and heavily modified Lee Enfield rifle, though many pig hunters and bush stalkers do now opt to using various smaller lever-action rifles, with one of the most popular being the Rossi M92 Puma, like my one here. I have a full video on this particular rifle, the link is in the description below this video. Though Lee Enfields are one of the quickest firing bolt-action rifles around, or at least they were during the first half of the 20th century, they are not as quick to shoot as a lever-action rifle in the hands of someone who knows how to shoot it well. But they do have a downfall when used in heavy bush, especially if you are a person, and that is, a lever-action rifle has more parts and are far more sophisticated. A bolt-action rifle in general terms has a minimal amount of components compared to a majority of firearm actions. Meanwhile, a lever-action rifle is a sophisticated piece of art that only a few minds can understand easily. Because bolt-action rifles are simplistic, if there is a malfunction while operating the rifle, then it is easy to solve the issue at hand, and it's also easy to strip. If a lever action rifle has a significant issue within the receiver, then unless you have the ability to take it apart then and there on the spot, you'll have to wait until you're at home to solve the issue at hand. Along with a lever action rifle having more parts, this means they are genuinely far more sophisticated, and also they end up costing more to manufacture. This is why a cheaper bolt action rifle is genuinely priced far less than a cheap lever gun. A lever action rifle is not obsolete within the firearms world, and I truly do love a shortened, lightweight and small lever action rifle when used as a brush gun. The main benefit a lever action rifle has over a bolt action rifle is their shooting speed and ability to stay on target when racking the bolt. The other obvious benefit is how much of a boss you look like when hunting with one, be it hunting deer at over a couple hundred meters away or pigs within 50 meters. For most scenarios, a bolt action rifle is better for hunting, however there's still a large void that a lever action rifle still fills for hunting to this day. Thank you all for watching. I am Ben and this is Ben Doing Things. Please give this video a like, comment something, subscribe, click that notification bell, and also go follow my Instagram. The link for that is in the description below. And once again, goodbye.